strong capabilities. They built a robust multi-channel campaign for CIBC Global Money Transfer and helped us launch GMT to China. And recently they have been working on the newcomer campaign, which is due to launch in June. So without further ado, please give a warm welcome to Bobby Sahni.
So Rohini, that's not fair. How do I follow the mask performance? This is not a mask, I promise. And Rohini, I should correct you, not only are we vendors or you clients of ours, but we became customers of CIBC yesterday as well. So I helped myself to a samosa, I earned it. It's part of the Surprise and Delight program, I'm sure, so thank you for the food. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for having me here today. It's an honor and a privilege to speak to you about something that's near and dear to my heart, which is diversity and multicultural marketing. And I think by looking around in the room, really what's evident is the fact that multicultural is mainstream. And I'll say it again, multicultural is mainstream, and the face of Canada is changing. Think about the foods we eat, the places we shop, the television shows we watch, how we work, how we live, how we play. Really the face of Canada is changing day by day. Only in Canada can you watch Hockey Night in Canada in Punjabi. While eating an Angus beef burger topped with sriracha sauce. And on the side have some butter chicken potato chips, along with some kimchi poutine. The drivers of change ultimately in this country, it's really all about the newcomers. Today, 20% of the population, or 1 in 5 of Canadians, are foreign born. And just to put that into context, it's the size of the province of Quebec. So just like the province of Quebec needs a unique strategy for companies to earn their market share and earn their keep, so too holds true for the ethnic communities, requiring a unique approach that is nuanced in cultural sensitivity and awareness. But it doesn't stop there. The rate of change within this country is phenomenal as well. We have 300,000 new immigrants coming to this country every single year. Just to put that into context, that's over 1 million new people coming to this country every 4 years. Aside from that, we've got very strong growth from our international students as well as our foreign temporary workers. So the landscape is changing not only from a demographic standpoint, but also when it comes down to spending power. Now, I'm a child of immigrant parents, and I heard the stories of when my parents came to this country in the 70s and did not have a lot of dollars, and they came with a single suitcase and they had to make ends meet. And those stories we still continue to hear. There's absolutely many immigrants coming to this country that don't have the means of others, and they do struggle. But then there's the other spectrum. When you've got newcomers coming to this country with cash and wealth in hand, where they're buying condos downtown, 2 at a time in cash. Their children are driving around in $150,000 automobiles. This spectrum, or what we like to call the diversity within the diversity, really separates those companies with cultural competencies and those that do not. And also, given that we are an aging population, and the fact that we're not having enough babies, I'm doing my part. I've had 2 in the last 5 years, so I'm contributing to the growth of our country. Immigration is an unstoppable trend within this country, and it's not going anywhere. So this rate of change and this rate of growth within this country is going to continue to snowball. So if immigration is a growth strategy for the country, it must be a growth strategy for your companies as well. As immigrants come to this country, essentially what they're bringing with them is unique preferences from back home, or a unique mindset, what I like to call cultural baggage. In essence, what cultural baggage is, it's the way you think, what you've learned from back home. It's your frame of reference, and it's a new way of thinking that's coming to this country every single year with those immigrants that are coming to this country. And it's an understanding and access of this cultural baggage that can be your secret weapon or your superpower. not only as a company, CIBC, but also as you individuals, I'll say Asian Canadian individuals. It's these insights that you have within these cultural communities that can separate you from the rest of the talent pool that's out there. And as the face of Canada continues to change and we're becoming increasingly Asian influenced as well, these superpowers are going to come in more and more handy. Anyone recently watched a hockey game in Punjabi? On Hockey Night in Canada Punjabi, a few of you? Anyone remember the song Gangnam Style? Yeah. I think everybody knows that song. Anyone seen Priyanka Chopra on Quantico?
Yes.
All right, well, Priyanka got a big shout out. Anyone had some bubble tea lately? Again, multicultural is becoming mainstream. And the fact that you have this information, these insights, and this connectivity with the communities, that's what separates you from the rest. And as multicultural becomes more and more mainstream in this country, those demand patterns are going to continue to shift. And supply and demand essentially, which predicates the movements of our economy, a lot of it is being based on these ethnic preferences. And it's not just a story about immigrants within this country, it's also about the children of those immigrants within this country as well, the second generation, which is something that I belong to, and I'm sure many of you do as well. In fact, Wharton Business School actually did a study a few years ago, and they coined the term Generation 1.5. And essentially what Generation 1.5 means is that there really isn't a second generation. There's a Generation 1.5 because even as children of immigrants, you retain some of that cultural baggage that comes with your parents as well. You embrace those values, those beliefs, and those customs, and you carry them forward to the next generations as well. So what's unique about the Generation 1.5 is not only are they waving a flag for Canada, but they're also waving a flag for their culture, their heritage, and their beliefs from back home as well. So now as I fast forward to where we are today in the present, really what this means for corporate Canada, the ultimate strategy that any company can have to compete is to have the inside of your organization be reflective of the outside. And as I mentioned, the face of Canada is changing, and by all of you being here today, it's obvious that CIBC has its finger on the pulse and is actually bringing in the right people to be a reflection of the communities that they serve. Your Asian employees that are here today, and those that are not, they have deep cultural insights in the communities that they serve. They've got unique networks, locally and internationally, and they're often first to know about emerging trends. I'm sure a lot of people here knew about Gangnam Style before anyone else, and I'm sure a lot of people here knew about Priyanka Chopra before the masses did as well. So it's these unique insights, again, that are your superpowers, that are the competitive advantage that you have as employees in the job market, but also as a company as well. And many of you today are leaders in your company or will become leaders and decision makers, whether it be in CIBC or outside of CIBC. And I ask, as you do climb that corporate ladder, you consider again what I've mentioned about the changing face of Canada and also the changing needs of Canadians. Be it from a product development standpoint, be it from a marketing communication standpoint, from a PR perspective, from customer service, but most of all in the people that you do continue to hire in your company. So 4 years ago, I took the biggest risk of my life. I left a very, very comfortable job at Rogers to venture out on my own while my wife was pregnant with our second child, and she encouraged me to do it. I still think she was a little bit crazy. She thinks she might have had baby brain at the time. But it was the biggest risk of my life that I've taken. And in starting the company, what I realized was that the only way that we would succeed in this company was really to bring together a highly diverse and talented group that really understood this intersection of multicultural and mainstream, what I like to call the art and the science of multicultural marketing. You know, the easiest thing for me would have been to partner with one of my buddies or somebody that I knew or hire people that looked like me and talked like me or went to the same school as me. But we didn't do that. We actually took a different direction. And today I'm very proud to say that our little bitty but growing and humble company has ethnic diversity, gender diversity, religious diversity, tenure diversity, and also life experience diversity, which is what we think is most important. I've brought two of my colleagues, or what I like to call our superpowers, here today. Feni is here with us today, as well as Taz. And Feni, as an example, is new to the workforce. You know, she's fresh out of school, and ethnicity is actually the first job that she's had from graduating school. And for Taz, it's the first job he's had in Canada as well. So when Feni and Taz came to our company, the conversation wasn't really about rejecting them because they have no Canadian work experience, which is what a lot of immigrants do here. It was actually embracing the unique experiences and skill sets that they do have, and putting them to work for our company and ultimately for our clients. So I also thank them and our employees that have helped us along the way. So in closing, you know, it is Canada's 150th birthday, and obviously the CIBC's 150th birthday as well. So really what comes to my mind is a big thank you. Firstly, I think we have to say thank you to our Indigenous people, who often are left out of the immigrant story. And if you think about it closely and hardly, the immigrant journey, the immigrant story really did begin with our Indigenous people. So it's often not recognized, so a big thank you to them first and foremost. Secondly, a big thank you goes to all of the immigrants that are in the room today that have chosen Canada. You've enriched our country with your superpowers, and I can see that you're enriching your company with those unique skills as well. So thank you to you all as well. And third, thanks to really the parents of my fellow Generation 1.5ers for also choosing this country and instilling the values and beliefs that we do have, ensuring that we continue to wave two flags for Canada as well as for our cultural heritage and beliefs and values. Thank you to you all as well for hearing me speak today. It's a privilege and a pleasure, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.